Okay guys, so hello and welcome to F2. We are in Germany today for another race in ERL of Season 5. We've had an intriguing first part of the season and we're also coming to the middle stage of the season already. And things are looking pretty static at the top of the standings on this tier, with Gamer NL leading the championship by 62 points over Rinky and Nigel, the two Force Indias behind the Sauber driver. 4 wins for Gamer, 1 win each for the Force Indias and Ulko. Also Joki has got 1 win in Azerbaijan, and these are the 5 different winners we have got so far. So this time you're joining us for round 10 in Germany. It's a dry qualifying session, so we're expecting the lap times to be as competitive as ever. So yeah, let's see how this one goes as the first cars are coming out on track. The Force India, either Rinky or Nigel. It is Rinky who goes out on track on the medium tires, I believe. Let's see. It is indeed the medium tires. So interesting first set. We've got ultra soft, softs and the mediums. I don't know exactly what tires is the best to qualify on, but I'm sure with these different tires it's going to be very interesting to see how the strategy is played by all of these drivers, as Rinky does have to work on these medium tires to bring them up to temperature. But a very nice circuit here in Germany, really demanding on all sectors, and also on penalties. It is really hard to keep it within the track limits in certain corners, but we'll see how these F2 drivers handle that as well, as the two Force Indias are ready to start the first flying laps of the day. Welcome to everyone joining us. Hope you are going to have a great time here. So the two Force Indias heading to turn 1. Got some yellows in sector 3, might be for cars slowing down to let other drivers through. But Rinky, the first one to cross the first sector line, is going to be a 16.103, while his teammate he's not going to show us, but they're very close together on the same straight, and they're around 4 seconds in between them. Rinky's actually abandoned his lap for whatever reason. It might have been invalid in the first corner, as Joki has now retired. We cannot spectate him and we are not sure where he is, but that's a shame for the Ferrari driver. He's probably going to start in P16, which is last position today, as Nigel across the second sector. He's currently at 49.9 seconds as he makes his way into the Mercedes stadium, along the hairpin, banking more like, as he swings through the last 2 corners and 90-degree right-handers. And across the line, his round of ERS is at 12.657 on the medium tires for Nigel. Let's see if that is a competitive lap or not. Is it a decent lap on the mediums? I'm pretty sure. So let's see what other people are doing. Let's see what Robin is doing, as Tenkate goes second with a 14.6 on mediums. Robin is on the white walled tires as well through sector 2 now. The only Ferrari remaining on this session has got more yellows in sectors 1 and 2. Robin doesn't seem to be quicker than Nigel. He's around 6/10 slower on the second sector alone. And now he's making his way through the last few corners. Want to hit these apexes, keep the flow going. And let's see what time he does. It's going to be a 13.1. And he goes P3 as Gamer has made a 13.006 to put himself up into P2. Nigel is still on the top of the leaderboards right now from the lap time he set on the beginning of the session. And Rinky has gone back into the pits. Smoking Bandit is still in the pits. He hasn't set a lap time yet. Let's see what Ulco is doing on the ultra soft tires. Is he going to complete this lap? It was either invalid or invalid because it was 11.5. Suomi on the Haas goes to 12.7, but on the soft tires, so one step softer for the Haas, and he goes into P2 in between Nigel and Gamer. Ulco is still out on the ultra soft, so I'm not sure if he wants to do a lap on those, especially this early on the session. As Warlock is also across the line now. It's not a very competitive lap, so 15.3 invalidated as well, so he stays in P16 at the moment. Let's see what Sven is doing. He's on the soft tires. I believe he's coming back into the pit lane now, the number 15, and he's actually going to start a fresh lap, lose the back end of turn 13, I believe, as he makes his way through turn 1. That looked pretty nice. Now heavy braking into turn 2, third gear, and fourth on the exit as we prepare for another DRS zone. 16.4 on the first sector. That's not too bad. He is on the soft tire, so he's looking to definitely get into the top 5 at this stage. Maybe get close to Suomi, who's the other soft runner. There are more ultra soft runners than soft drivers on this point on the session, so it will be interesting to see how it all goes. But 12.4 now. Gamer bits the pole lap by 0.2 of a second. Nigel down to P2, but he is on an out lap, still on the mediums. He's now on the softs, so Nigel on the softs, Sven, Rinky, and then on the softs as well, out on track all. Only Warlock, Zertsu and RJW are on the pits. Let's see what Sven does across the line. It's a 13.5, and it only puts him P8 actually, so lap times are getting slightly more competitive for everyone, as Maledictus now fits the soft tires as well. So let's see what Nigel can do. The Robin meanwhile in P2 on the mediums, we missed that. So 12.590, and he just pips Nigel. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see the full Cindy on pole once again on the soft tires now. Suomi goes P2 on the softs, very close on the top 4. So 12.490, half a tenth off Gamer on the medium. So Suomi does want to find some more time somewhere, as Nigel now starts his lap through turn 1. Very clean, very conservative perhaps. Opens the DRS for the run down to turn 2. Hits the apex very nicely. And it's a 15.7 on the first sector. He doesn't back out this time, so that might as well be a very good first sector. Into the hairpin now. He's got a bit of a traffic ahead of him. Hopefully it doesn't distract him all too much as he makes his way through sector 2 now. Another heavy braking zone, as you have to be really cautious now on the throttle. And through the right hander, very fast, sometimes flat. And now into sector 3. Let's see if this is going to be a good lap for him. Through the banking, he's got McLaren ahead of him, which should probably get out of the way as he approaches now the final couple of corners. Let's see where Nigel goes. This is going to be Paul. He runs really wide of the last corner. It's not Paul. He goes into P3. He improves his lap time by a very slight margin. He doesn't beat Suomi, and now Gamer is on softs, out on track. Let's see what Gamer can do. He's not on track actually, just fitted the softs on his pit lane. So Nigel then, that McLaren may have costed him pole or provisional pole for now, as he ran very wide of the last corner, and he's only 800ths off pole and 300ths off P2 of Suomi. But it is 5 different constructors on the first 5 positions. Warlock's now on the ultra soft tires. Let's see if he actually goes out with that. Rinky goes pole with a 12.0, smashes a 12.4, and he's on provisional pole now. The other Force India, which we were not expecting, as Sven has retired of the session. He won't be able to manage a top 10 most likely today. But Rinky almost in the 11s on the softs, a very nice lap time, and that will definitely now settle him into a good position, even if it doesn't improve. But let's see what others have to respond. They have to find almost half a second to beat Rinky. Will that be possible? Robin, last week's pole man, down in P5, but also he's only 151 thousandths off P2. It's incredibly close up the top. Ricky has extended the gap a lot from P1 to P2. But also, let's see what the strategy is going to be like. So far, we have got 3 soft runners, 3 soft runners on the top 10, and the rest of them are on mediums. So perhaps we'll see the softs coming out now. As you can see, we've got 6 drivers out on track on softs, 1 on ultra softs. That's Warlock. He has actually gone out on ultra softs, and it's pretty late in the session. Let's see if he wants to do a lap on these, as he's going to start one now. It's about 6 minutes left in the session, so if he wants to abandon this run, then he can. Through turn 1, really aggressive there. The grip does seem a lot more. Car looks really grippy at the moment on ultra softs. But let's see, it's going to be really interesting to see if he wants to improve his lap on the ultras. And then goes P2 with a 12.1 on softs, while Suomi has retired. Where has he retired? He's in P4 at the moment. He had a really good chance of pole, and the has retired from P4. I'm not sure where he is. And then though, on the soft tires into P2, just Pips Gamer, who has improved as well. He's on the softs as well. So I think we may see the majority of drivers starting or qualifying on the softs. However, Rinky is still on mediums in the pit lane, and he'll probably be switching to the softs as well if he wants to remain on pole. The gap has shrinked to 1.5 tenths from P1 to P2, and the top 3 are covered by just 2 tenths. The gaps in the midfield are still really small. From P7 to P10 is all to play for at this rate. But let's see how Warlock is doing on the ultra softs. He's on the hairpin. I'm not sure if he started a new lap, because we left him at the first sector a while ago. Still seems like he's pushing. He's got his ERS to hot lap, but this may just be so he gets some track time out for when he comes out of the softs. He's majorly down on his lap time, and the ERS has gone down to 0, and inevitably we're going to see him back in the pit box on the end of this lap. These ultra softs have probably already gone off the cliff, and he comes back into the pit lane. See what Rinky will put on. He's still in the mediums, selected on the pit box. Not many people out on track. Let's see if Robin is on lap. He may be preparing one. Yes, he is. So let's run a ball with Rinky retires from the session, from the pit lane. He's happy with his lap, with his tyre, and joins Swomi and Nigel on the retirees on the top 5. So that's really interesting. Robin has backed out of his lap from turn 1, which is again really confusing. Gamer beats Rinky by 15 thousandths on the soft tyres. I bet Rinky wasn't expecting that. Rinky sees his name drop from P1 late seconds after. I'm not sure if he didn't have another set of softs. Probably didn't, that's why he retired, but I'm not sure. He has left 3 minutes for everyone to improve their laps and get ahead of him. Gamer sits on provisional pole and then retires as well with 2.5 minutes to go. We don't have that many drivers to wait now, with still plenty of action, plenty of minutes to go on the clock. Gamer doesn't seem too threatened for pole at this rate. Robin needs to find 0.6 of a second, and the rest of the drivers almost a second on the soft compound or ultra soft. So let's see what Robin can do now. One of the 2 contenders for pole position, if any. That's not a good first corner for Robin. I'm not sure if that was even invalid, but he's definitely down on his personal best, which is a 12.5 at the moment. Through sector 1, 16.0, way slower than what we've seen this session. As he approaches the heavy braking zone of the hairpin in turn 5, and he locks up. This has gone horribly wrong. He won't have time for another run, and we may see another car retire, as Maledictus now separates the 2 couples that have retired. He's 3/10 slower than Gamer's pole. Gamer retires. Unsurprisingly, he doesn't have to worry about much. Maledictus is a P4 then. Pretty sure that's 8 different constructors now on the top 8. It's pretty nice to see. Different colours. Robin, I don't think he'll be going for another lap. He will. He's going to fight it. He's got nothing to lose at the moment. It's all or nothing for Robin. Through turn 1 now. Definitely better than last time. But let's see if he's up on his personal best. I'd say he is. Still got 1 more corner to go for the sector 1 split. RJW goes P3 on the softs as well. Robin is 1/10 up on his personal best. RJW then, very nice lap from him as well. 2nd row. And Maledictus dropped to the 3rd row now, as he's making his way back to the pits. Donkey Dan goes into P7 with a 12.5. But will that be beaten by Robin, who's currently finding himself down in P9, which is not good for the Ferrari driver, who's shown very good pace in qualifying. And he's now 4/10 up on his personal best. This could be really promising for Robin. This could even be a front row. Let's see. Through the last 2 corners, can the Ferrari get anywhere near pole position as Warlock crosses the line to go P5. Robin across the line. It's pole for the Ferrari. It's an 11.8. First car to go on the 11s. And that is him into P1. Another pole position for Robin. He's been smashing qualifying this season, and hopefully this time it's a bit sweeter luck in the race as well. As Ulco beats that, we just completely missed that. Ulco beats Robin to pole by 12 thousandths of a second. It's not another pole position for Robin. We spoke a bit too soon. Great lap by Ulco. Beats Robin by just 12 thousandths. This is an incredibly close session. The top 10 are separated by half a second. I did not expect that. And This just set us up for an amazing race. Every driver has qualified on the soft tires, so at the end of the day, it's probably one of the most stale qualifying strategies we've seen, and I was expecting a bit more variety in tire compounds, but I guess these drivers know better at this rate. So it's Ulko on pole. Let's check how many poles Ulko has so far. Ulko is currently in P4 in the standings. He's got one race win last week in Britain, and he's got 2 poles with this one here in Germany. Pips Robin by 12 thousandths of a second. Gamer in third, not too far behind. Rinky and Donkey are so close together as well in the second row of the grid. RJW in 6th, and then in 7th, Warlock in 8th. And I believe that was Tenkate in 9th. Pretty much rounds off the top 10. So let's see what tires 11th to 16th start on. Possibly the soft tires majorly. I don't think anyone will want to start on the ultra softs, so probably see the yellow and the white colors in the tires, as it is a dry race too. Let's check the comments as the drivers are doing the final adjustments. Hello to everyone. So we're now preparing for the formation lap, and everyone on the grid except Nigel is starting on the soft tires. Nigel is on the mediums in P12. His teammate up in P4, he'll definitely want to be seeing that. We know Nigel is quick in qualifying and in the race as well. Now, I'm sure he'll make a lot of positions up in the race. That's what I'm predicting from him. So we'll keep an eye out on him as well. Jokey down in P16, also not great. Swomi in P11. Sven in P14. Smoking Baron in 13th. Turtu in 15th. And certainly a very good qualifying from Donkey Dan as well, and RJW, all really close in quali. Lap times really showed how close these drivers are. It's a relatively small circuit, but takes nothing away from the gaps we saw. And these drivers already in the third sector, weaving the tyres. We are expecting a soft to medium strategy unless there's rain, which I wasn't informed about. So some clouds, but I think it's all good. Same forecast as in qualifying. As all cars are now making their way into the grid for round 10. And the end of the first part of the season already. Final cars making their way into the grid slots. As the lights are now coming on here in Germany. And we're racing. Very good start from Rinky in P4. It goes down the middle of the Ferrari and the Sauber. Ulko has already pulled away. Robin up into P2, passes Gamer in the first corner. Rinky is going side by side with Donkey Dan. Further back got some contact between NN and Warlock. Hopefully no damage there. As Swomi is dropping some places, starting in P9, he's starting in P11, sorry. He's now already up into P8 as he goes side by side with RJW. Let's see up front. It's 3 wide into the hairpin. Rinky goes down the inside. It goes really, really wide. He's going to drop down to P5. Maybe he can regain P4. And he goes side by side now with Gamer for P3. And he makes the move stick. Further back go has down the inside. That was Warlock. Really close. There's contact between the Williams and the Renault, I believe. And Donkey. Down in P6 and P7 as RJW has retired from the race after a very good qualifying, so that's really unfortunate. Rinky, Warlock and Gamer really close for P3 now, as Ulko has extended the gap from P2 to 1.8 seconds as Smoking Bandit picks up a 5-second stop go for an illegal overtake on the yellows. Ulko almost 2 seconds up front. And then Zertu are in the pits for a lap 1 pit stop. Maledictus looks down the inside of Suomi for P8. And then Zertu both on the medium tyres now for their second stint. Let's see if we can stretch them out to the end. Nigel, as we said, makes his way up into P7 on the opening lap. That is pretty amazing. Getting attacked now by Suomi to the hairpin. Zertu has retired as well from P14. In the first corner, not sure how, we didn't catch that. But we've got a virtual safety car now, so I don't think it's a very good time for anyone to pit, although it is really close to the pit lane and most of these drivers could benefit from it for the time being, but I'm not sure how easy it is to go to the end on mediums from now. So Ulko from Robin, it's almost 2 seconds the gap now. Ulko has done everything he needed to do on these first couple laps. Let's extend the gap. As Nigel makes a pit stop from the medium tyres. That's very interesting. He probably didn't really want a safety car this early on, but the VSC has been redeployed. I'm not sure how the Force India mechanic is holding that front wing. Nigel has a front wing change then. 10 cars already with 3-second time penalty. Nigel's going to rejoin in P12 on the softs. Really close to NN, however. As Rinky and Gamer are going at it for P3 into the hairpin. Sven has retired as the third retirement of the race. Gamer seems to have made the move stick. Is Rinky going to go down the inside? No, he's not. Gamer outbreaks himself a tad. And Robin is really close to Ulko now. Robin is half a tenth, half a second behind Ulko. It was 1.5 the gap. And Ulko must have made a mistake on the VSC. Or Robin has just absolutely perfected the VSC period. And now Ulko makes another mistake through the stadium. Robin will definitely have DRS now. And we'll probably see a battle between these two already on lap 4. Or Robin goes really wide, that's going to be a warning. A lot of fastest laps as the VSC affected that. Robin locks up a lot. He's really trying to get on the back of Ulko now with the DRS. Oh, we see a move from the Ferrari driver into the hairpin. They're very close to each other. Robin goes down the inside, he's going to look for it. Ulko leads in the space and Robin seems to have made the move done. We have a new race leader on the German GP. It is Robin, as Ulko now really follows him really close. He's going to go down the inside again. He outbreaks himself. Robin goes for the undercut. Side by side between these two. Robin tries it again. And into the stadium section to sector 3. There's a car going really wide there. I believe that was Rinky, as he's still fighting for P3 with Gamer. Robin settles for P2. And this is all allowing the Sauber of Gamer, Rinky and the Haas of Warlock to get really close to these guys. And we may see an even more exciting battle for the lead. Gamer sets the quickest lap with a 15.4. Robin still desperately trying to chase Ulko for the race lead. He's going to stick behind smartly, get the longer DRS, more slipstream. I think it's going to be much easier move than last lap. He's on the slipstream of Ulko. Ulko, will he defend the inside line? It probably would be smart to do. He does. Robin is going to have to go around the outside into the hairpin. Will he make this one stick? No, he doesn't. Ulko defends really well, places his car really well into the hairpin there. And Gamer, you can see, is just 8 tenths behind the pair of them. This could be a 3 or 4 way fight for the race lead. As Maledict is also really close to Suomi. I'm going to try not to miss any overtakes. As back up front, Robin is really close to Ulko. Ulko does seem to have a bit more tyre wear than the Ferrari at this rate. As they make their way through the last 2 corners, Ulko is really sliding, trying to find some new lines through the last corners to maximize his exit. He's found some 10s, to be fair to him. Cap is now up into 5 10s, and Robin's got a 3-second time penalty. Donkey down as well, both on the first corner, which is really tricky as we said with the track limit. Gamer is really close to Robin as well now. Let's see how this one plans out. Ulko, the only one without DRS. Will he be attacked by Robin again into the hairpin? He does. Robin goes down the inside, a big lunge, and the Sauber has passed both of them for the lead of the race. Gamer into the lead. Ulko down to P2. Robin somehow down to P3. And now Gamer and Ulko are going to be side by side into the left-hander. Ulko breaks himself a lot. Gamer is definitely going to inherit the race lead now. Robin up into P2. Ulko loses 2 positions from the race lead to P3. And now Rinky is getting involved as well. Great fight for the race lead. Gamer is actually going to pull away now. It's worked out beautifully for the Sauber driver. As we said, everyone's going to get involved in this as long as everyone battles with each other. Ulko goes really wide. It keeps on struggling with tire wear on the last sector in particular. Now Rinky is really close to him. Look at that Mercedes sliding all over the place. Warlock gets a penalty for exceeding track limits, as Ulko misses the apex, and that's going to give Rinky a chance. Ulko will have DRS this time though, so let's see if Rinky will stand a chance against the Mercedes driver. Let's see if Robin is going to stand a chance against the Sauber. No, he doesn't go for a launch this time. And Rinky doesn't stay back. Rinky goes for a move into the hairpin, but he hasn't made a stick. He's incredibly close to the Mercedes driver. He's not going to go for a move here, is he? No, he's not. So the top 4 remain the same for another lap. Gamer, I don't think he will be able to pull away with the DRS of the drivers behind. And let's see if Warlock will be able to get involved as well. We wouldn't mind at all. This is getting really exciting. And everyone's still really close to each other. The fight for the points. Look at that, everyone's got DRS, so it's kind of like a domino effect. No one's really losing time. Everyone's being helped by the use of DRS slipstream. There's a couple of long straights here that really help you stay in touch with the car in front. Skate is another victim of turn 1. He gets a 3-second time penalty. Rinky really trying to push the traction there. He's nowhere near Ulko this time. Is Robin going to go for any sort of lunge? He's way too far back. He's going to stay behind for another corner. Gamer seems to be quick in the pass that he should be. Robin's really close to him now. Probably will think of a move for the next lap, as the gap's now just to 4 tenths as we approach the final sector. Jeez, that was really close for Gamer into the barrier. Now let's try on board with the race leader for a little bit, as he's struggling with understeer as well. You can see, I think everyone is on lap 8. Now into lap 9. on these soft tires. He's handling the tire wear pretty well actually. And now Robin is really close to him. 0.3 of a second between them. Is he going to go for a move? He's going to open the DRS for one more time. Put his DRS into overtake mode. Some overtakes down the back. We've got this race lead change again. Robin down the inside. And does he make the move? Stick Gamer with a switchback. He gets him back. Great move by Gamer, being patient and on the throttle, getting him back. Rinky is also really close, but let's see with Robin. He doesn't go for a move, so let's go back to Rinky for the fight for P3. Nothing changes there. And we miss some overtakes down the back. We have got Donkey in 9th now. Jokey in 10th, really close to him. Maledicte is up into P7. Really close with Tenkate there. Jokey gets a penalty. Maledicte squeezes Tenkate, so it doesn't get into P7. So really nice fight between these four as well. But obviously we're gonna focus on this one for the race lead between Robin, Gamer. Robin is really close now. Gamer made a slight mistake in turn 1. Now Robin will focus on the traction. Oh, it goes really wide. It goes into the grass there. That's definitely going to allow Olko to get past, and maybe even Rinky. Rinky is way too far back. Robin's going to defend the inside line. Olko goes on the outside for the hairpin. He's going to be able to pull this off. I think he is. Better traction. All the bank wheels is going to get incredibly close. Who's going to get the upper hand? Robin defends the line. Olko, he wants to go down the inside, but Robin doesn't allow him. So Robin stays in front after a very weird mistake in the exit of turn 3. Just opened up the steering and went into the grass. More fighting for P6. As the gap now has increased to 1.1 between the top two. And Robin won't have DRS. This is huge for Olko and Rinky, as Olko goes into the pits for, I would imagine, medium tires and for an undercut on the top two. This could be really crucial for the race lead. Let's see when everyone else pits. No one else has followed him. Olko's on fresh softs, so he hasn't pitted for mediums. He's on softs, so that surely means a 2-stop strategy for him now. Either it was a mistake or a genuine strategy call. That's definitely a 2-stop strategy by the rulebook. Oh, Maledicte is really close to Suomi now. Goes down the inside into the hairpin. Suomi tries to defend. Maledicte is on the outside. Makes slight contact. And Jokey is also really close to both of them. Maledicte is going to go down the inside. No, he's not. So let's go back to Jokey. He's fighting with the two Williams drivers for P8, for P7 actually. So these are a lot of points up for grabs. Jokey on the back of the train. If he can pass everyone on this train, he can go up into P5. As Maledicte is looking really hungry for that P5 from Suomi. Robin, Gamer, Rinky, no one pits. As I think they're all opting for the one-stop strategy. So it might have been a wrong strategy call for Olko, but I'm not 100% sure. However, Robin is definitely going to be really close to Gamer, as Gamer defends the inside line. But Robin goes past Rinky, or Rinky Gamer, breaks really late, almost on the back of Robin. But Robin into the race lead of the race, Gamer down to P2. Got some position changes down the back again into the hairpin. Oh, slight contact between Suomi and Donkey. Jokey is also going to get involved now. Let's see how those plans out. Donkey down the inside. Suomi tries to cover it. Donkey over to P6 momentarily. Jokey still cannot get the better of this fight. Robin with a 3-second time penalty again. He's got 2 at the moment, I believe. And again with Donkey down. These two get penalties on the same exact lap on the same corner. pretty weird. Everyone stays out yet again. So I think everyone on the top 9 are on the one-stop strategy of soft to mediums. Let's see what Smoking Bandit does now as he pits. Will Gamer be able to go for a move? Ulco on the fresh soft does the fastest lap of the race, as Smoking Bandit is going to pit for either the softs or the mediums. He pits for the softs actually, so he's on a 2-stop strategy as well, along with Ulco. Maledictus, however, pitted on the same lap as Ulco and is on the mediums again into the hairpin. These drivers are going at it. Choki this time has made a move stick on Swomi, who's going wide into run up to the left-hander. Not sure why. Let's see if the front runners pit. I think no matter if Ulco's on a 2-stop strategy, he will definitely come out ahead of these drivers. Gamer wanted to go into the pit lane, he stays out. Robin pits, Rinky pits. Would anyone else pit? What was going on there? No, the Force India has crashed in the pit lane. Robin is not going to get held up. Where is Ulco in all of this? Is he in front of Robin or behind? Robin is on the mediums. They're very close to each other, and he jumps Robin just about on the pit lane. So Ulco in the race lead of the race, but he's on a 2-stopper. Robin on the 1-stop. Ulco will definitely want to push now to get away from this pack. Donkey Down has retired from the race, as Warlock and Maledictus are also really close together. Maledictus back past Warlock into the hairpin. Warlock breaks really late. Will he be able to go around the outside? No, he's not. Robin already loses a second to Ulco. Gamer was probably pit. I'm not sure why he stayed out. So he stays out for one more lap. I'm pretty sure he can go to the end on mediums from now on, but he's trying something different. Nigel picks up 3-second time penalty. He's down in P11. The race hasn't been going great for him, as he had to pit under VSC, I believe. Tenkate, Joki and Swomi, the battle for P6, they're on the pit lane. Nigel pits one more time as well. As they come out really close to each other again. Warlock and Tenkate, and someone's gone off the track. That was Rinky. Maledictus gets passed into P4 now for Maledictus. This could be a possible podium if Gamer stays out for a lot more laps. Warlock goes down the inside, and that is not what you want to see. Warlock unintentionally missing his braking marker, and that has cost Maledictus and Rinky some positions. But just a massive misjudgment from Warlock there, and everyone else pays the price. Warlock has retired. Gamer pits. Let's see where he rejoins in comparison to Robin and Tenkate. Mediums it is for Gamer. Ulco in the race lead. He's about 3 seconds behind Robin, so Maledictus wouldn't be anywhere near Gamer anyway. Robin 2 seconds behind Ulco, so Ulco still needs to push a bit more if he wants to have a chance at this podium. And then really close Tenkate. Will we see a move for P4 now? Renault closing. We go down the inside. Yes, he goes down the inside. And then goes down. Tenkate is inside. Tenkate goes off track. And then somehow, after that messy move, goes up into P4. Now Maledictis has made his way back on the clutches of the Williams and the Renault. He does deserve to get that P4 back. So into the third sector now. Joki is really close to Rinky too. As Robin is not losing time to Ulko now, so he's doing really well to keep up with the soft space. I don't think Ulko has made the right strategy call, seeing these details. Maledictis loses the apex of turn 1, costs him a bit of time to the front two. As it is getting a bit cloudy, but no real signs of rain. Let's see if Tenkate goes for round 2 on NN. He's a bit too far away and he doesn't go for a move. Joki and Rinky, however, are switching positions. Joki up the inside into P7. Rinky concedes the position, but he is still really close to the Ferrari. I don't think he's going to battle it. There's no much point. They are trying to catch the train for P4. As the gaps are starting to stabilize on the top 3, so gonna focus on this battle P4. Tenkate has managed to stay close on this last sector. Through turn 1, it goes really wide. Still has the help of DRS. Maledictis is now closer to him than he is to the Renault. Let's see, you really need a good exit here for the long straight. Tenkate doesn't seem very close to the Renault. Maledictis, however, is looking really close to the Williams. He's going to go down the inside. He tries it, has a look, sticks his nose in there. Tenkate leaves the door open for Maledictis. Better traction for the McLaren too. They're side by side, coming into the left-hander. Still side by side between the two of them. Now Maledictis has the inside line, still has his nose in there. Tenkate goes wide and keeps P5. But definitely the McLaren is showing that he is there and he's fighting there to get that P4 back. Starting to lose my words. Robin is catching Ulko. Incredible pace by the Ferrari driver. Gamer is also on a really good pace, keeping up with Robin. NN and Tenkate synchronizing penalties. Maledictis really close. I think soon we'll see a battle for the top 2 as well. No moves done here. Maledictis goes down the inside in a pretty unexpected move on the Williams. And Tenkate closes the door. So the positions stay the same for another lap. Renault in the pits, so NN comes into the pits after 17 laps on the mediums. What tyres are going to fit on is going to be the soft tyres for the last 15. Rinky gets a time penalty. Let's see what NN can do with these soft tyres to the end of the race. Comes out in P10 behind Smoking Bandit. Maledictis is really close to Tenkate now. The Williams has not got DRS this time. It's not going to be able to defend into the hairpin. Maledictis goes around the outside. Side by side through the hairpin. Maledictis gets the slightly better traction. They are still going to be side by side through this little kink. Maledict is going to go down the inside. Tenkate beautifully around the outside, keeps the position and stays in front in P4 this time for another lap. Great defending by Tenkate, but for how long will he be able to keep the McLaren behind without DRS? Robin is still slightly gaining on Olco. The gap is about the same as it was last lap, but Gamer is catching Robin, and I believe Gamer has way less penalties than Robin does. He may even have 0, I'm not sure. Robin definitely has 2 at least, and I'm not sure about Olco too, so we'll check towards the end of the race when Olco has made his pit stop as well. But this is basically the fight for the podium for now, because when Olco pits, they are going to be under threat from him as well. But for now, let's see the gap to leader. For now, I think they would rejoin ahead of him, just about. Robin is on the verge of getting the DRS. Robin gets another time penalty. This is not helping him. He's got 9 seconds added to his race time, and that is almost a whole pit stop around here. That's not what you want to be doing, but when you're pushing the boundaries of the track for this long, it does happen. How much is it going to cost Robin, as he's not going to get DRS this time around for a few thousandths of a second? So Olco is trying everything he can to pull away, but he keeps on losing time to Robin. Gamer also now loses time to the pair. Around 7/10 the last lap, so not been a great lap for the Sauber driver. Maledict is really close to Williams now. He goes down the inside this time, and Tenkate has nothing to fight with. He's going to try a different line into the hairpin. It works out for him. They are very close to each other. He manages to stick with Maledictis, but he doesn't have the top speed he needs to make a lunge into the onto the left-hander. So let's see what the top two are doing. Robin should have DRS this time around. He does indeed. And now it's going to get closer and closer every lap with his DRS. Robin goes really wide again. He may even get another penalty as the clouds are getting bigger and bigger and more grey every lap, so we may see rain in the end of the race. It's getting really overcast, to be honest. Robin pushing his ERS and tyres to stick with Olco, although he doesn't really need to. Olco definitely needs to pit again, as he has made 2 soft stints. And Maledictis and Tenkate are catching the leaders, so I think Maledictis and Tenkate will jump Olco, who will be on ultra softs most likely. That's also going to be interesting to see, as Rinky and Suomi are really close to each other now. Bin may pass Olco this lap. The Mercedes still has to do a couple more laps if he wants to go on the ultra soft tyres. Really consistent laps from Robin, as it goes a bit wide to turn 1. Game is catching. So let's see now. First big opportunity for Robin to get past Olco. ERS up to overtake. DRS wide open. And he sees the Mercedes getting bigger and bigger. The rain is here. We have rain in the German GP. Olco defends the inside line. Robin looks down the inside. He stays back. This has caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting rain this early. We've got 10 laps to go still. And this means Olco may well have made a right strategy call And Tenkate, Maledictus really close to each other. P4 now. This is also a battle we have to watch out for. They are catching the leaders again. Tenkate makes the move stick. Rinky and Suomi swap positions yet again. Ulko stays in front, then extends the gap to 7/10. Let's see then. Are intermediates going to be needed until the end? Probably yes. We've got about a quarter of the hour still to go. They are locking up absolutely everywhere. Game has got 1 second on the last lap. And this could be a great ending to the German GP. Ulko and Robin really close to each other. Robin does not opt to go for the slipstream. He looks really close to the Mercedes driver, goes wide. Robin down the inside. Oh, he loses the back end and Ulko stays in front. So the grip is definitely worse every lap. Gamer keeps on catching these two, Maledictus and Tenkate, again switch positions. Tenkate goes down the inside, so he keeps that one for one more lap. Rinky and Suomi again on their own fight for P7. We're actually switching positions rapidly now, so let's check what's going on there. Suomi backs out of the fight for P7 as Rinky makes a move stick. Ulko, look at that. They're all struggling through the last sector. This is definitely not soft. But is it intermediate? They're all going into the pits, desperately trying to find some sort of grip on a different tyre compound. As it's now 9 laps to go for the end of the German GP. This is going to get really hectic really quickly. Everyone obviously on the intermediates. Gamer has jumped Robin. Robin is way further back than I expected. I think Robin had a front wing change, and now Gamer is on the front foot to challenge Ulko for the race lead. That's really interesting. Robin has lost a lot of time as well. That's not just a front wing change. I think he got held up. So that's really annoying for the Ferrari driver. He's now 8.3 seconds behind the leader. Again, not much luck for him, but it's still looking good for a podium. So as we get to the last few laps of the race, let's check the penalties. It's 1 penalty for Ulko, on the verge of a second one. No penalties for Gamer. He's only got 1 warning. It's 3 penalties for Robin. Maledictus has got a stop go, which I assume he served on the lap before. A lot of penalties for Tenkate. So that's not going to help him at all for the fight for P4. Maledictus is also pulled away almost 10 seconds from Tenkate. They were battling the lap before the pit stops. So I'm also not sure what happened there. The Williams crew is pretty far back the pit lane, so yeah, I guess domino effect again. It's really not helping anyone on this game. Tenkate picks up another penalty, and he's now fighting with Joki and Suomi NN for P5. So Maledictus has stretched away. He doesn't have any penalties. Robin has a lot. And as we said, Maledictus may well be in a shout for a podium, which would be a great result for him. And also Gamer at the moment is in the race lead for 1 second. So this could be really exciting, as it always is in F2. Gap's down to 1.5 now. Game is rapidly gaining on the Mercedes. Game has had a great second part of the race. after his double overtake for the race lead. That's where the tables turned, and he hasn't really gone off the leader since then. He made a slight overcut, which cost him about 5 seconds, but now he's back in the hunt for the race lead, and with no penalties this could mean much easier win than he may have expected. As Robin is also losing a lot of time now to the leader, so not only lost a lot of time in the pit stop period, he's also rapidly losing time to the top two. Came at great car control through the second sector, not letting the car slide out too much, which is what you won't be doing in the rain. Especially through this sector 3, Gamer seems to be gaining quite some time to Olco, as the gap now goes down to 1.2. And we may even see a fight between these two. Not sure if Gamer has been informed about Olco's penalty. But we would prefer a battle between these two on track. It's always a bit of more pride who finishes first on track, not just penalties. So let's see what Olco is doing differently to Gamer. In first gear through the hairpin, Gamer missed the apex that time. But with 6 laps to go, gap's 1.6. This is all going to get to the last second. So if Gamer doesn't stick with Olco, if he doesn't keep up this pace, and if he obviously gets a penalty, then he's going to lose this race. But checking again, Gamer has got 1 warning, Olco with 1 penalty, so nothing has changed. Robin keeps on losing time. His setup must have been scheduled for the dry and not at all for the wet. But I'm sure Olco and Gamer weren't running wet setups the whole time, so I'm not sure what Robin is losing so much time. He definitely has a motive to push. He has a lot of penalties. If he wants to keep this podium, then he does need to push a lot. The battle for the race win obviously is over for him, but the battle for the podium could still be on. 5 laps to go then on this German GP. Olco in the lead from Gamer to Robin to Maledictus, Tenkate, then Joki, the Renault Venom, Suomi, Rinky and Smoking Bandit round up the top 10 with Nigel back in P11 doing his thing. Suomi and Rinky again on the inters this time are going at it for P8. Oh, slight bit of lag. I was also got Joki and Tenkate into the hairpin. Joki is doing great on the medium tyres out here. Tenkate makes the move stick. Rinky off the track. These two are really enjoying this fight. I feel like it's a bit ton of lag, which is ruining it. And Rinky stays in P8 for the time being. And Gamer is now 1.1 second behind Olco. 4 laps to go. 16 kilometers until the finish. And until the checkered flag drops. Joki gaining on Tenkate towards the hairpin. No changes. A lot of wheel spin for the Ferrari driver. Zenon is now closing in on the 2 as well. Yeah, they're all struggling coming into sector 3, so let's see who has the better grip on this trickier section. And then it's still gaining on these 2, so probably going to see a 3-way foul P5 any moment soon. Gamer is now under a second behind Olko. Keeps on losing time. Now 2.5 laps to go, and nothing has changed on the penalties. Gamer is on par to win this race. Hazanen is now on the back of Joki. He's gained a lot of time on the first sector. Joki defends the inside line and then tries to go around the outside. Doesn't work out for him. He stays behind. Gives Tenkate a bit of breathing space now, as Gamer is just 6 tenths behind. Olko gonna stick with NN and Joki. Nothing changes. They're gonna go back into the lead. Olko loses a lot of time on this lap. Let's see what Gamer can do on lap 33 out of 34. Can a move be made for the lead of this race? Caps now into 7 tenths. This is a really crucial traction zone for both of them. Olko seems to have a bit more traction than Gamer. Gap up to 8 tenths. Azenen and Joki are going to get really close again. So let's see what these 2 do on the big straight. A lot of wheel spin for an end. Gamer is really close to Olko. Olko makes a slight mistake. Gamer is really close. Let's see if NN goes for a move. No, he didn't, so back to Gamer. Last lap of the race, Olko leads the Sauber of Gamer. Robin in P3, Maledictus in P4, Tenkate, Joki and NN fighting for P5 until the death of this race. Gamer is now in prime position to gain the place from Olko, the Mercedes driver, under immense pressure. It might not mean much on the end session results, but who's going to finish first? Who's going to get a checkered flag? Olko defends the inside line, locks up, almost pushes Gamer off. Joki has retired from the race. Olko and Gamer make contact. Where has Joki retired? It's in the first corner. He's not going to get any points, unfortunately. And the 3-way fight for P5 has been reduced to a 2-way fight between Tenkate and NN. I'm not sure how Joki crashed, but that's really unfortunate. Could have been at least 6 points for him. Gamer following Olko really closely through the last section. It's going to be him who wins this race. Olko on track, but can Gamer get him on the last 2 corners? He's not going to look for a move. I think he knows Olko has a penalty. So across the final corner, Olko will take the checkered flag in Germany. It's Gamer, though, who wins the race and gets the 25 points. A great race from him, some great moves, and the strategy in the end didn't let him down. It's him who wins Ulko in second, and Maledictis gets the third place. That was a unserved stop-go penalty. I'm not sure what happened. And again for Tenkate, I think it's just a glitch in the game. So either way, Maledictis, great podium from him. Robin in P4, Loreno Venen actually gets P5, Suomi in P6, Smoking Baron in P7, and Tenkate there, if you saw in P9, he was in P5 I believe. So pretty interesting. I think he had a lot of penalties. I believe he had about 5, so Maledictis on his second podium of the season, P8 before this race, gonna elevate him up a couple of positions in the standings. But another win for Gamer, more points gained in the championship, increases his advantage over his rivals, and also great 18 points for Ulko after some interesting driving in France the last time I commentated a race. So it's last time I remember F2 from then, but he obviously won in Britain, so he seems to have definitely stepped his game up. And another P2 there in Germany. So here are your results, provisional before stewards decide any further penalties. Is Gamer with no penalties, Ulko, Maledictis round off the podium, Robin, NN in P5, Suomi as well with no penalties, Smoking Bandit in the Toro Rosso in P7, Rinky P8, Tenkate in P9, and Nigel rounds off the finishers and the top 10. Yeah, 20 seconds for Tenkate is what demoted him from P5 to P9. So that's another shame for him. A lot of penalties for everyone. Gamer and Suomi, the only ones not to get a single one, which is a great achievement around here. Especially the turn 1. Always looking for victims on his track limit. But that has been it for the German GP. Unfortunately, we won't have interviews this time. So we will catch you next week. And the race is going to be around Hungary, Budapest. A great racetrack for F1 cars. It's going to be another tense qualifying session and race as always. Tune in next Friday at 8 PM UK time. And I won't be commentating as I won't be home, so we'll try to find a commentator for you guys to watch the F2 race live. So until then guys, we'll see you next time.